Hi guys. Well, this is the recording. I'm actually in the Google meeting, but I'm the only one here. So, I'll tell you what, guys, the weather's gorgeous, and if I could be outside right now, I probably would be. Uh, but so if you don't, I think most of you know me. If you don't, let me set my phone down here. I am Miss Renee. I'm the Children's Librarian at Salem Public Library, and I'm the one who will be doing these programs. I have been sick, so I'm actually stuck at home and can't go to the library right now. So this is our first night of our program. I still wanted to do it, so I'm recording from my bedroom. No animals are allowed in here, so if you've followed some of my other videos, you're probably used to seeing Griffin and Daisy Ray and Rogue, but probably not tonight. Actually, I'm allergic to cats and dogs, so they're not allowed in my bedroom. So how is everybody? I miss you guys so much. That's why I was hoping people would come to the meeting so that I could see you maybe next week. The Google meeting thing isn't gonna work, and well, I guess I'll work on it. All this digital online programming has so much been experimenting and just figuring out what works and just kind of playing it by ear as we go, which is how our whole summer is going to have to be, and that's okay. We're learning and growing, and it's good to face challenges sometimes, right? It actually makes us stronger. So you should have picked up your kit at the library. If you have not picked your kit up yet, please do so, because it's got all your supplies for the whole summer are right in there. If you haven't signed up for the summer library challenge yet, please do so. We're using Read Squared this year. You can find a link on our website and on Facebook and probably in your email. We've tried to put it out there as much as we can. It should be in the flyers if you picked anything up from the library in the last few days. So it's actually really fun. If you've done our library challenge before, it's very similar. You just everything's online instead of your paper chart that had all the things you could do to earn points or earn tickets. You just go into the app and tell the app what you did, and it'll basically award your tickets right to you. No keeping your log, without losing it all summer. No writing your name and phone number 5 million times. But there's still a chance to win some Amazon gift cards at the end of the summer, so get busy with it. Tell me what you're reading. What are you guys reading? I'm actually reading a book called The Book of Candlelight by Ellery Adams. It's a grown-up mystery, but I'm really enjoying it. So let's get started. Because I'm at home and I don't actually have one of the kits here, so I kind of had to improvise with what I had in my kitchen today to do this program, and that works. Sometimes that's the best science comes out of that. We will meet the first 2 weeks of the month are the school age programs, and on the first one we're going to do some science, building, engineering, math kind of stuff, which is the STEM stuff, and then the second week we will do an art project. If you signed up for one, you're signed up for all of them for the whole summer, and your kit should have all your supplies in it. Nothing in those kits needs to come back to the library. It's all yours. Unless it's something I specifically tell you is okay to throw away, hang on to the stuff that's in your kit, because I try to pick supplies and projects that we can use the supplies more than once. That way there's a little fewer things to send home to you guys. I thought I made it a little bit easier. So like tonight, you say grab your kits. I try to make it so that the only things that you are going to have to supply yourself are water occasionally, coloring things, which you don't need tonight, and optional, if you've got glitter glue, embellishments, anything like that you want to use. I mean, our theme this summer is Imagine Your Story, so you imagine your project however you would like it. So I'm going to try to tie some of that in. We intended to do a lot of fantasy and stuff, fantasy and mythology, and I'm not sure how much we can do that. But anyways, let's get started. You guys you don't want to listen to me talk. Okay, so in your kit, the first thing you want to pull out is your glass jar. You should have a glass jar in there. It might still have a label on it. For tonight, that's not really a big deal. We just didn't get them cleaned in time. but we are going to use these jars again. So do not throw your jar away. Hang on to your jar, or you know, if you've got a better jar at home that you like better, use that. It doesn't matter. If it's got a label on it still after we use them tonight, or even if you just want to pause the video and go do it now, you can remove the label, and the best ways to do that is to fill the jar with really hot water. So make sure you ask a grown-up for help with that so you don't get burned. Let it sit for 30 seconds and it might just peel right off. If you need more advice on removing labels, I'm actually gotten pretty good at it. Like I said, all your jars are probably different. They're different sizes, different shapes. I'm actually using a 1-quart mason jar that you would use for canning, because it's what I had in my kitchen. So you can get your jar out. Because I don't have a kit, I can't really show you what it looks like, but hopefully you guys can tell. Inside your kit, there is a small Ziploc bag, and it's going to have little squares, so like this big, of wax paper with a dark colored dot on them. You should have 4, I think. I believe I put 4 in each kit. So those it's actually food coloring on those papers. I gave you 4 dots. Do not use them all tonight because you're going to need them for other things throughout the summer. There should be just the classic colors: red, blue, yellow, and green. There should be one of each. That's what I try to do, is give everybody one of each. If you have either liquid watercolors or you have food coloring at home that your grown-ups are okay with you using, feel free to use your own. Have a little more variety, a little more color. So yeah, like I said, I kind of waited my own kitchen today for this. So pick one of your colors and pull it out of the bag. In that bag, you're going to find a couple of teeny tiny little beads. Be careful they don't come out of the bag. We are going to need those later. So take your food coloring out, zip your bag back up. Inside your bag, you're also going to find a plain unused Ziploc bag and a rubber band. So you're going to pull those out. Actually, you probably have a lot of rubber bands. You just need one tonight. Leave the rest of them in there. We're going to use them later. The things you are going to need from around your house. All right. Oh no! Sorry about that. I have my phone plugged in so it doesn't die while we're doing this. Okay, water. This is plain old tap water. I just put it in this bottle to bring it to my room without spilling it. You can just simply go to the sink when we're ready for this part, so that's fine. Ask your grown-ups if you can use the dish soap. You're going to need like 1 tiny drop. Hand soap is fine too. I think you can just get a smaller drop with dish soap, really tiny little bit. A little splash, maybe just about a teaspoon of white vinegar. The vinegar is optional. It just breaks up the static a little bit so you get a better thing. I didn't even tell you guys what we're making. Oh my gosh. We are making a tornado in a jar. So if you have read or seen the movie Wizard of Oz, which is one of my favorites, you know that the tornado takes Dorothy to the magical land of Oz. Pretty cool place. She has lots of adventures there. So while we're making these tonight, I want you guys to think about what, if this, I mean, it's the best part about, you know, imagination and imagining your own story. Where would you land if the tornado picked you up and carried you off somewhere? Would you land in a magical place like Oz? Would there be magic creatures there? Would you just, maybe you would just fly off to somewhere you've always wanted to visit? I was watching something yesterday about Tahiti. Maybe my tornado is going to take me to Tahiti. So, you know, while we're making these, think about where your tornado might take you. And normally tornadoes are, they are a pretty scary thing. We're going to keep ours pretty contained so they're not going to be too scary. And I don't know about you guys, but I would rather a pretty tornado. Tornadoes are usually brown or gray or black. We're going to make ours a little bit prettier. So, another optional thing is glitter. Any color you want. If you have glitter, glitter is not necessary. It just actually makes it a little bit easier to see the tornado. So if you got some glitter, grab it. Glitter glue will work too. Especially if you break it down a little bit first with some water. And this was just completely random. My husband collects a lot of toys, and so I grabbed one of his very small toys to put in my tornado so that it gets gets swept up in the tornado. It may not actually work. I just thought it would be fun to try, and helps with, you know, imagining story. So yeah, this is a teeny little Cthulhu. Cthulhu's kind of a mythical horror creature. He's got little tiny wings. I always say he's cute. My husband says he is not cute. He's very, like, evil, and I don't know. But he's very small, so he's going to go in our tornado. Okay, let's get started. Grab your jar. Into your jar, you're going to put if you guys can even see how tiny that drop was. One teeny drip of Dawn dish soap. It doesn't have to be Dawn. Any kind of dish soap. That's just what I have in my kitchen. Next, I'm going to add, you should measure it. I did not bring measuring spoons, so I'm going to eyeball. It doesn't have to be exact. The vinegar, I don't smell it because it's too close because it's pretty strong. Once we get this all together, the vinegar helps break up, and same thing with the soap, they help break up the static so that our tornado can spin more freely. So, I mean, that was a very, very, very small splash. Doesn't need much vinegar at all. And, oh, color. Oh my goodness. I got 2 different boxes of food coloring here. I was hoping some people would be in the meeting to help me decide what color. I kind of want to do pink, but you know, I just watched Jaws, and it's just going to make me think about yeah, if you haven't seen Jaws, Jaws is, you guys are probably on for Jaws. Forget I suggested it. I'm going with the neon blue. I just put 1 single drop of color in. You know what? That was the blue. And goodness, Miss Renee knows that she loves her turquoise. So I'm going to add a drop of green too. You don't want a whole lot of color if you are using the wax paper color. You can use like a spoon or a plastic knife or something to scrape off the little blob of color that's in, like, unfold it, scrape it off. Or you can set it in like a small bowl with just put a few drops of water on it and let it sit for a few minutes. Scraping it and putting it right into your jar is probably going to be a little bit faster, but it's up to you, whichever way works better for you. All that is dried up food coloring. So once it mixes with water, it's going to liquefy again. So now I have, in my jar, I have my food coloring, my vinegar, my drop of soap, and just for fun, the glitter is completely optional. I just think it makes it a lot more fun if you got some glitter to throw in there. I didn't have a good way to send glitter home with you guys in the packs, so that's one of those things that you will need to supply on your own if you would like some glitter. We will do anything summer that it's required on, so completely optional. Swirl that all around, just a very gentle swirl. You know what? I was gonna put Cthulhu in there, but he actually is like a Funko Pop, and my husband does like him. I'm afraid the food coloring is gonna stain him, so I think I'm gonna pass. If you've got some small toy that you don't mind if it gets stained or, you know, whatever, throw it in there. Next, we're going to add our water. So, you can carry your jar straight over to the sink or use a bottle of water, however you want to do it. I'm going to advise that you do this very slowly. Turn the water on just at a trickle, or pour it out of your bottle very slowly. Because otherwise, remember, we put soap in there, and if you pour your water in too fast, it's going to make your soap foam up. I've already got a few little bubbles in there, and I mean, a few little bubbles are okay. We just don't want it to be too foamy. Now, your jars are all different sizes, so some of you are going to need more water than others. Don't fill it all the way up. We need to have some room for our tornado to spin in that jar. My jar is pretty big, and my bottle is not nearly as big, so set that aside. All right, so now I can swirl it right here. It's kind of dark and hard to see. I actually did make another video of it in the sunlight, and I'll try to show this one in the sunlight too. They're actually really pretty in the sun. Now, you start swirling the jar, especially if it's got food coloring in it. Oh, it's going to spill. Your grown-ups are not going to be very happy with you. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. So we need to close these up. If you selected a jar from home and you still have the lid for it, that's ideal. Put that lid right on there. If, like me, you don't have a lid for your jar, this is what this part is for. You're going to get your plain empty Ziploc bag. Don't use the one that has the food coloring and the beads in it. Keep that one safe. You're going to use the one that doesn't have anything in it. And you're going to lay it right on top of your jar. I'm trying to figure out how I can show you, and I'll actually just hold it up and show you in a minute. And then you're going to take your rubber band, and you are going to put it right down over that bag so that you're making a lid out of that Ziploc bag and the rubber band, so it can hold it all in there really tight. I have a small rubber band and mine went easily around twice, so get it on there as tight as you can. Grown-ups, this is probably where we're going to need some help, so make sure that you've got that on there. Make sure the plastic is under the edge of the rubber band the whole way around. So this is what it's going to look like. Now we are ready to make our tornado. I am going to move it into better light so that you guys can see it better. But once you got it all set up, you're just going to move your hand in kind of a circle so that your water is sloshing around and around. Keep going, keep swirling it. And when you stop, if you've got it going fast enough, you are going to have a tornado swirling right down in there. And that's where the soap, you want just a little bit of foam because you can see it. The glitter helps you see the formation of the cyclone. Now, this, a real tornado, you've got the two different air pressures. I may get this wrong, I'm sorry if I do. The high pressure on the bottom and the low pressure on the top, I believe. And when they smash together, the air starts to swirl. So I guess in this case, the high pressure is the water and the air is the low pressure above it. And we get to be the wind that powers it. And we are pushing those forces together and swirling them around. And once they start swirling, a funnel forms. Tell you what, I may not actually have enough water in this one. The one, oh yeah, it was there. It's just really hard to see in that light. I'm gonna try to swirl it and move the camera at the same time. So I actually did do a video of in front of the fan. Excuse my dirty fan. I gotta switch hands because I can't swirl it left-handed. That's so silly. All right, swirl, 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 swirl. Hopefully you can just see my nose. That's lovely. Oh, you can kind of see it there. I actually do think mine could use a little more water. So yeah, fill it up pretty full. You don't want to go all the way to the top. You need to make sure there's some air and some room for it to swirl around in there. But mine's just at a little over half, and it could probably use more water. So maybe 2/3 full. That would probably be a good measure. I see nobody joined the meeting, so we'll have to figure out a different way to do this. And anyways, so I do have 2 videos. There's this one, and then there's a very short one just showing of the tornado jar outside in the sun. Once you've got yours made, I highly recommend taking them out into the sun. Open it up and stick little things in there. Oh, I got a nice funnel, and that one is hard to see, but it's there. And make up some stories. Tell me where your tornado is going to take you. So that's our project for this evening. I know I talked way too much. I'm sorry. But I'm going to sign off here very shortly. Remember to get signed up for summer reading. All you have to do is download the app or go to the website for Read Squared. They'll let you go to Salem Public Library. I think you have to Salem Public Library, Ohio, I think is how you find it. And you'll see our logo. We're right there. So get signed up and earn those tickets. And so you can try and earn an Amazon gift card at the end of the summer. And next week we will do an art project, so keep your kits safe and handy. When you are done with your tornado jar, don't keep them real long because, you know, oh, I got a great funnel there. I don't know if you guys can see it. They might start growing weird things. We don't want that. So, so don't keep it real long. Just a few days, or you know, if you want to make a new one, you guys know how now. Water, soap, vinegar, food coloring to make it pretty, or liquid watercolor, whatever you have. Just like I said, if you're using the food coloring I gave you, you will definitely need at least one more. So don't use it. Only use one of your food colorings tonight, because we are going to use it for other things. And when you take apart your tornado jar and rinse it out, don't get rid of your jar. You're going to need this for another project later in the summer as well. So hang on to your jar, and rubber band bag, we might find another use for them, but if you want to dry them off and keep them in your kit, that's fine. Just make sure you hang on to your jar and don't use all your food coloring tonight. So hopefully you guys are not in the meeting because you are all outside enjoying the beautiful sunshine. I'm definitely going to do it because my throat is not feeling very good. That's why I've not been at the library. So I will see you guys hopefully soon. Feel free to email me some feedback, you know, if the meeting didn't work for you or whatever, so we can get it figured out, because I really would love to do this as more of an interactive thing, but I gotta have people to interact with. So, all right, I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.